Scrappy friends. The video you're about to watch is another bring over from Facebook. As you know, I do a series over there on Facebook, and I just bringing them all over here one at a time to house them over here on YouTube. So you may have already seen this episode, but if you haven't, then I hope that you enjoy it. And if you have, I hope it's a good refresher for you. So here we go. Today we're going to go into our Creative Memories 110 scrapbooking border ideas and sketches, and we're going to create a border and turn it into a very quick and simple page. And it's going to go into my Fast to Fab album. I am going to be working on page 61 today, and it's this sketch right here. They used it as an outdoor adventure layout. It is a vertical sketch, and I'm holding it horizontally because I will be making mine in a horizontal fashion. So let me go ahead and put this full size on the screen so that we can take a better look at it. So of course it has a base because every border has a base, and this one, if you look at the colorful inspiration piece, you'll see that that's where the brown wood paper is. So that's going to be the same with ours, and we don't have a treatment on that. Then the next layer, I like to look at this that it's two pieces of paper that equal one layer. So again, if you look at the colorful inspiration piece, it's the striped paper would be a part of the first layer, and that's going to be butted up right next to that dotted aqua blue polka dot paper. I'm calling that one layer. It's just going to consist of two pieces of paper. And I'm going to do mine slightly different than they have here because I'll be introducing basically a third layer because I'm going to put my punch out onto its own piece of paper. So I'll have two pieces butted up next to each other for that first layer, and then my second layer will be my punch out. They use a border strip sticker to go across to cover up that seam. I'll be doing the same thing, but you can use anything. You can use a strip of paper, you can use laser embellishment, whatever fits your theme. And then of course the very top is the decorative embellishments. Come on back to my desk and I will show you what I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using I'm going to talk about my punch first because there's a couple things I want to talk about before I get into my border. So I'm going to be using the brand new dolphin punch. It's what I wanted to show you, where when you punch it out, the dolphins are swimming to the left. I think that's cute. You get a very cute fallout with this. We'll see. I am going to punch one here in a minute, but I wanted to show you first because I feel like it's very directional, and so I like to pay attention to that kind of things on my page, like which way things are going to kind of move your eye across. So I feel like the dolphins going to the left would be great on a right-hand page, so that maybe it focuses your attention to the center of your layout. But I'm going to be doing a one-page layout today, so I really want my dolphins to be swimming the other way to kind of guide my eye to the next page, or to whatever is going to be over here on the other side. So to do that, I'm just pointing that out because you can do that and just put your paper in upside down in the punch. So if I wanted to punch it on this blue piece and have the dolphin swimming to the right, then I would want to make sure I'm putting this side of the paper into the border making tray. Okay, so let's go ahead and punch that out. And I'm going to use this blue sky looking paper. I think it looks a little bit like waves, so I think it's going to be cute to have the dolphins swimming out in there and jumping out of the water. And here's the back side. So if I want my dolphins swimming to the right, like we were just talking about, then I'm going to put the paper in upside down into my paper tray. Okay, let's give this a try and see if this is going to work out. Great for whale watching, snorkeling, like I'm going to use today. Okay, same as always. Just line up our notches. Go up the page, or you can go down the page. And let's look at the fallout, because of course these dolphins are super cute. Look at that. I'm sure we're going to have lots of uses for that fallout. Super fun when we get get a border and some awesome decorations as well. And then that's how it was designed to go that direction. But like I said, I'm going to do mine this way, and you can see it does look like water. Okay, so we have a base. I'm going to use this tan. This is Old School Creative Memories. It looks like sand to me. That's why I picked it. Okay, so my base is going to be different. If you look this up on the blog, my border is going to look a little different than what they have over there. I wanted it to be a little bit more narrow. I like my borders to be a little thinner, so I made mine 2.5 inches wide by 12 inches long. Okay, that's going to be my base. Oh, let me put the example on the screen for you. You can follow along. So like you see in the example, the striped paper, I'm going to use this yellow paper to represent that, and you'll see when I get my page out here in a minute why I'm choosing yellow. So my yellow strip here, and I did have to kind of weld mine together, so I'm actually going to turn it this way. It's going to go right onto the base like that. This is 5/8 by 12 inches. Okay, so it's slightly over 1/2 inch. I'm going to put a second piece here, and that's where I'm going to bring in the blue paper. In our inspiration, they put a treatment on the top, and I'm going to change that around, and I'm actually going to put the treatment on this piece of paper. So I'm going to change my blade. By treatment, I mean a decorative cut, using a blade, your scissors, distressing, paper tearing, that kind of thing. And I'm going to use Wave. Why not? It's the ocean. Okay. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of a waist cut, which means I'm just going to slice off a bit to get my decorative blade going here. Usually I like to line it up right at the second line on my mat, so let's see if that's going to be enough. Just a little piece. And I'm going to turn this around, make sure to change my blade. I only want or need to put a decorative cut on one side, because when I butt it up next to the yellow, I am going to put a border sticker across that seam. Okay, so then this one, the blue, is going to be 1¼ inches by 12. So let's get that. I can do it on this other end. It'll be a little easier. I'm like going off the side waves right up to the 1¼ Now these are going to butt up right next to each other, and you can make you can make your border a little bigger if you wanted more exposed in the background. Okay, mine's going to look just like that, and then my dolphins will come on and go just like that. I am going to put my border sticker on before I adhere my dolphins, and for that I'm actually dipping into a couple different collections here. For this border sticker, I want to use this rope, and I'm just going to, like I said, use it to cover up the seam. And I love that the rope has the same kind of wavy look that I just put down at the bottom there. And then I'm going to put my dolphins right on top of the blue. There we go. There we go. Cute. And I'm going to now embellish it. For embellishing is where I'm going to bring in these stickers from the Seaside collection, using a few different things on this one. I love this title right here, this barrel. I think that's super cute. It's higher, it says high or low, I'll always be by your side. And then I thought it would be cute to maybe have a sand dollar popping out one side of it. And now I'm going to cover up the seam where I welded it. I love this blue shell. I am going to move it over just a tad, so I have a little more room to decorate. And I think I'll put the blue shell, let me pop it up onto some foam tape. I'll do it, I want to be able to read the words still, so there we go, there. And we might come back to this and embellish a little bit more once it gets on the page, do a little bit of final touches. But for now, I'm going to leave it like that and bring in my page that I'm going to create. And this is why I used yellow, because I really love the yellow down here, and I wanted to kind of tie that all in together. Okay, this is the page that I'm working on. I'm not really a huge fan of that distressed area, so I do want to put this right over there, that part like that. Love it. I love it. I love how that yellow ties that in. And this is going to be a super simple page because all I have is one very large photo. I think this was a, oh my gosh, I measured it. It was some awkward sides, like an 8 1/4 by 6 1/4, but very fun page. So very fun photo. It was obviously taken by the cruise line that we, the excursion that we took off the cruise line, and I'm gonna put it right like that. Now I've already pre-matted it onto a white piece of paper to kind of help that pop out, but I do want to add a few more layers to it, so I'm gonna bring in a few more pieces. It's gonna be, I don't want the whole piece. Well, yes, actually this doesn't look too bad. I haven't adhered this yet, so I could still move it around. And I liked the yellow because in the photos we're wearing like yellow and orange life preservers. So yes, I think what I'm gonna do for this one is, let's see, we'll trim this. Yes, let's do 9. I can always trim off another 1/2 inch if I want to. We were talking about adding treatment. I think what I want to do with this one is give it a little bit of a paper tear. Let's see here, let's go the other direction. If you pull one way, you get white, and if you pull the other direction, you get, you shouldn't see the white. I'm just gonna tear off about a 1/2 inch or so, just let it do its thing. I love the paper tearing, and in this album, you know, it's 2 cruises that we went on. I'm making 1 album. So for some reason, paper tearing, it kind of reminds me of a nautical a little bit. So I'm going to put that like this and keep scooting my border down, which is okay with me. But I think what I'm going to do is bring in some of that blue from our border, and I'm going to cut this slightly bigger, about that 9 inch, and see if we like that. Yeah, let's do that. 9 inches. Don't need quite as wide, just want a little bit of a backing to it, almost like I'm matting my paper. So that's going to be at 9 3/4. That's just making your paper work for your photos, right? I have to decide if I want. I'm kind of thinking make it look like almost like a banner hanging down. So I'm going to paper tear this one too, leaving my green as my placeholder. There we go. Who likes paper tearing? I think it adds just a little bit of texture and roughness to our layouts. I love it. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna put it right to the edge. I kind of like that look. Both pieces right to the edge. Just have a little bit of the blue sticking out around the whole thing, and put that photo right like that. Yeah, I like it. I could scoop my border up slightly, and there we go. I won't have a journaling box on this one because it'll be just in a series of us out snorkeling for the day. So that's easy. Then let's see if I'm going to add anything else. I kind of like the little seagull. He was catching my eye. So I think what I'll do is I'll put him right on top of the barrel, kind of looking at us snorkeling. And then I think that's all I'm going to do for this layout, only because I'll save the rest of any little embellishments that I might want to use. I could save for when I do the second page over here, so it'll help tie that in. So you'll have to go back to YouTube and watch my series over there. It won't be. So I hope you like that. I love my border. I think it's completely different than the one up there. And if you go to the blog and check that out, you'll see that that's a great sketch too. And the way they put it together, they put color paper behind some of those paw prints, and it's kind of why I added the blue paper behind mine. And very simple decorations includes my title. So yeah, I think I pulled that off. I like how it came out. I hope that you do too. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Simple page, done just like that. I'm very happy with it. And that's all I have for today's workshop. come back next week. Let's see what we're going to do. Okay? So until then, take care, everybody. Bye bye.